The Bible is full of parables that Jesus told to help us learn how to live our lives. So today, I'm going to share one of my favorite parables with you. And at the end, I'll give you 3 things that we can learn from this parable for our life. Before we get into the lesson, let's make sure we understand the story. Let's start by looking at the verse. A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell into the hands of robbers. They stripped him, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. Now, a priest was going down that road, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. In the same way, a Levite came to where he was, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, a member of a hated and despised group, came up to him and expressed compassion. He also poured wine and oil on his wounds, bandaged him, and put him on a donkey. Then he brought him to an inn and took care of him. The next day, he took out 2 silver coins and gave them to the innkeeper and said, "Take care of him. Whatever more you spend on him, I will pay you back on my return." So the parable ends right there. Now, let's take a look at what happened in this story. This man is going from Jerusalem to Jericho. And if you know anything about geography, you know that those are 2 cities in Israel. The distance between these 2 cities is about 18 miles, and most people would have traveled this distance in about 3 hours. However, this man ended up being attacked by robbers, beaten, and left for dead on the side of the road. And after they robbed him, they left him there. And so now he's on the side of the road, barely alive, waiting for someone to come and help him. And the first person that comes along is a priest. Now, if you don't know much about the Old Testament, let me quickly explain. The priests were responsible for burning incense and making sacrifices for the people. They were holy people who were responsible for keeping the people clean and pleasing to God. In fact, it says that the priest is supposed to be going from Jerusalem to the temple in Shiloh because it was time to burn incense to God. So here's this priest on his way to the temple to burn incense to God. And he sees this man who has been beaten and left for dead on the side of the road. And instead of stopping to help, the Bible tells us that he passed by on the other side. Then after the priest, a Levite came by. And if you don't know, the Levites were the assistants to the priests. They helped the priests offer sacrifices and do whatever else needed to be done in the temple. So they were also holy people just like the priests. And so here's the Levite. He sees this man who has been beaten and left for dead on the side of the road, and he does the exact same thing that the priest did. He passes by on the other side. And then finally, a Samaritan comes by. And if you don't know much about the Samaritans, let me quickly explain. Back then, the Jewish people and the Samaritans despised each other. They fought all the time. And Jesus had even taught his disciples that if they encountered a Samaritan, they shouldn't even say hello to them. So this Samaritan comes across this man who has been beaten and left for dead on the side of the road. And although he was a Samaritan and he was supposed to despise him, he didn't. Instead, he stopped and helped him. He poured wine and oil on his wounds, bandaged him, and put him on a donkey. Then he brought him to an inn and took care of him. The next day he took out 2 silver coins and gave them to the innkeeper and said, "Take care of him. Whatever more you spend on him, I will pay you back on my return." And that's where the story ends. So now that we understand the story, let's talk about 3 lessons that we can learn from it. Lesson number 1, it's okay to walk on the other side of the street. If you read this story and you feel bad for the priest and the Levite because they walked past this man on the other side of the road, then let me encourage you. It's okay to walk on the other side of the road. You aren't always responsible for saving everyone that you see. Just because you see someone doesn't mean that you have to go and talk to them or help them. You have the freedom to walk on the other side of the road. Lesson number 2, people who look like they need help probably do. There's a common saying, don't judge a book by its cover, and that's really important to remember here. Because just because this man looked like he needed help, it doesn't mean that he did. He may have been pretending to need help so that he could steal their stuff. But the Samaritan didn't know that, so instead, he decided to ask if he needed help. And it turns out that he did. So just because someone looks like they need help doesn't mean that they do. But it's a good idea to ask if they do. And lesson number 3, we should show mercy to people who deserve it the least. When you read this story, I bet your initial reaction was to hate the robbers. They were the ones who beat this man and left him for dead. They are the reason that this man was lying on the side of the road in the first place. And yet, Jesus tells us that this group of people, the Samaritans, were known for being unmerciful and hating everyone around them. And yet, this Samaritan showed mercy to this man who didn't deserve it, to a Jew who he was supposed to hate. And that's something that we can all learn from. Sometimes people don't deserve our mercy, but we should still show it to them. So these are 3 things that we can learn from this parable. Before we close, I want to give you one last thought. Have you ever heard this parable before? I'm guessing that you have, but I want to ask you something. In your mind, who is the hero of this story? Is it the priest, the Levite, or the Samaritan? I'm guessing that most of you would say that it's the Samaritan. After all, he was the one who stopped to help. But if you think about it, it was actually the man who was robbed. He was the one who got beat up, left for dead, and had to watch 2 religious leaders pass him by. That's not to say that the Samaritan wasn't a hero. He was. But the man who was robbed was also a hero. He was brave enough to continue living, to continue moving forward despite the pain that he was going through. He didn't give up. And in a way, that's what we all need to do. Life is going to throw all kinds of punches at us. Some of them will knock us down. And sometimes those punches will come from people that we don't expect, just like this man. But no matter what happens, no matter how many punches life throws at us, we can't give up. We have to keep moving forward. We have to keep trying. And we have to keep believing that things will get better. So I hope that this parable encourages you to be merciful to everyone, no matter what they've done. I hope it reminds you that you don't have to help everyone that you see, but you should definitely help those who genuinely need it. And I hope it inspires you to never give up, no matter what you're going through. God bless you all.